Hey guys, you're watching Boondocking with Dennis. We are just pulling in to Goose Island State Park. I've already got a printed out day pass. I have a, what do you call that thing? What do you call that pass, guys? Texas State Park pass, yearly pass. So I always just go to my phone app, make a reservation. I've already stopped at the front gate, picked up my little printout, and I have it affixed to my windshield. So we are good, I believe, until 2 p.m. and then we can always get another one from 2 p.m. I think it's till 8 p.m. Not really sure what time you have to be out of here. But there's a great Texas State Parks app. Gives you details about all the different parks, and makes it real easy to get passes and book campsites. What is that up there, guys? Kind of looks like a duck. I don't know what that is. It's a good size. Hey, Mr. Duck. Nope, nothing. Well, it obviously doesn't speak screaming goat. Sun's been in and out all day. It's going to be up into the 70s. The wind is about 13 miles an hour. So I'm going to try to shelter my microphone and keep most of the wind out. Here comes the sun right now, guys. I can feel it on my arm. Let me zoom me out a little bitty. There you go. There's Aransas Bay way in the distance there. Goose Island State Park's a pretty cool park. It has a wooded section, and then it has cabanas right along the bay. And you can go online and check availability and get prices. Or you can just come in for a day pass, which is what I usually do. It did occur to me recently, I've only stayed overnight in this park once, I believe. For early February, guys, it's a gorgeous day. There's the old Civilian Conservation Corps building. We've done a lot of videos from Goose Island State Park because it is in Rockport, Texas, and that's where I live. Rockport, Texas, it's the closest one. They're always working here, getting the dead stuff off the palm trees. It's a weekday, but still a decent amount of people here. I really don't know what season it is, if it's hunting going on or anything like that. I know on the weekends it's pretty crowded here. Even Rockport Beach was, I got a wave, pretty crowded this past weekend. You know, guys, I don't talk a whole lot about my friend Fritz. I met Fritz, I believe, when I was in junior high. I lived in an apartment complex, and Fritz, his backyard where he lived growing up was his backyard. There was a fence and then the apartment complex, so I could walk from my apartment to Fritz's house in just a few minutes. And I honestly don't remember how I met Fritz. I think I'm a year older than Fritz. And very talented artist. He made his living his whole life with art, and he's worked in various mediums, paint, airbrush, sculpting, welding. Very talented guy, and a very good guitar player, singer. His poor parents Fritz would have band practice in his basement, and his parents would put up with all that noise, and I would play with Fritz sometimes. I just played harmonica for the most part when I was around Fritz. We would go camping. I would bring my harmonica, and he would bring an acoustic guitar, and build a big campfire, and we always went with different people and had a good time. We would go mostly to campgrounds in New Jersey. Driftwood campground was one, and then Dennisville campground was another. Right kind of outside of Sea Isle City, New Jersey. And we would go to the Wildwood Boardwalk, and I've talked about stopping at vegetable stands and loading up on food. And for some reason we drank bottles of Boone's Farm wine, which was literally $1 a bottle back then. Screw on cap. Fine stuff. I got a doggy. And Fritz inherited some land in Upper Black Eddy, Pennsylvania. And for a long time he had a shop set up at the Q Mart in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. And that was maybe an hour and a half away from where I lived. And I would drive up there at least once a month, sometimes, 3 or 4 weekends in a row, sometimes, every other week, whatever, and go visit him at the Q Mart, go sightseeing. If I was up there by myself, I would just hang out at the Q Mart and watch him airbrush and try to help out with customers, or I would the Q Mart is like a big indoor flea market, if you will. So I would go up and walk around the Q Mart and keep myself busy. If I was bringing another friend with me, we would always go up and say hi to Fritz and show them the Q Mart and get a steak and pepper sandwich. I'm sorry, a sausage and pepper sandwich. And they had record stores that sold bootleg albums, and just, an old bookstore, an old magazine store, just all the stuff you see at a, indoor flea market type place. And one of there was a few really cool attractions between Quakertown, Pennsylvania, and Fritz's house in Upper Black Eddy, Pennsylvania. There was Lake Noxamixon. I don't feel like I'm saying that right. Noxamixon. There you go. And it was a beautiful little park area. We'd go there. We'd go there in the winter and walk on the ice. The lake would be frozen. There was equestrian trails there. That was always cool. Right by Fritz's house. And Fritz's house was located, I don't want to say the name of the road, but not far from Ringing Rocks. And I don't know if that became a state park or not, to tell you the truth. Pennsylvania, Upper Black Eddy, Ringing Rocks. And there was this, I think it was a glacier deposit of huge boulders. And you could pick up a rock or a hammer, and you could hit certain rocks at a certain angle, and the whole field would ring. I mean, it would literally ring. You could hear it traveling, just the way these rocks were naturally stacked. And that was Ringing Rocks. There was also trails at Ringing Rocks that led to a creek, and had a small waterfalls. I don't know, 12, 14-foot drop. And some days it would be a trickle, and some days it would be a gusher, depending on how much rain we had recently gotten. And this was all up on a pretty good size climb. pretty good sized sheer hill with a switchback or two in it. Right off the Delaware River, not all that far from New Hope, Pennsylvania, which is a big tourist town right on the Delaware. And I'm thinking the town on the other side where Fritz lived might have been Milford, New Jersey. Like, that was the nearest town. Lots of old trestle bridges crossing the Delaware. There was this one cliff area we used to go to, pretty clear, pretty sheer cliffs, and you could overlook the Delaware River. It was like at a perfect bend in the river, and you could just see forever. And several times we got up there with some golf balls. Yep. And drove golf balls over the cliff. Of course, that's a cool looking tent right there. Of course, not only couldn't we reach the river, we couldn't even reach the road by the river, which oddly enough was called River Road on both sides. And Fritz also, right where we would drive the golf balls, there was just like a little trail, like a 40-foot trail that went under the overhang, and we found engravings there from the 1700s. You know, just like Jack was here, you know, whatever it was, 1724. There's some blue herrings disagreeing with each other. So, and I don't know if someone did that 20 years before or actually on the date that was carved in the stone. But that was neat. That's a, you know, that's a lot of history in that area. It's not far from Washington's Crossing, Pennsylvania, where Washington crossed the Delaware to fight the British. Actually, to fight German Hessian soldiers who were for hire. I saw a great meme. Is that what it is? M-E-M-E? Is that a meme or a meme? Anyway, it had Washington crossing the Delaware, and it said, America, we will murder you in your sleep on Christmas Eve. And I went, wow, unfortunately, that is accurate. I'm like, ouch, that one hurt. Speaking of murdering people in their sleep, you guys ready for the dad joke button? Here it comes.
Found out I was colorblind the other day. That one came right out the purple.
That's so stupid. That's another one I had to think. He should have said right out of the purple. Maybe he did and I just didn't hear him right. I'm colorblind. I like that joke. I'm offended. So this is the front part of Goose Island, and maybe we'll go back and look for vehicles in the wooded area. Also, I think it's this weekend. Jason's Texas Adventures is coming down to stay at Goose Island, so I'll probably be back over here to say hi to him and meet him for the first time. He's got a good channel, and his link is in the description of this video. So those are some of my Fritz stories. And I don't know, I guess I'll end it with a really gross Fritz story. When I had my own apartment, Fritz had a great dog, Freeway, that he found, on the freeway. And he was just an awesome dog. And Fritz came over to see, same apartment complex that I moved out of when I was young and hanging out with Fritz. Well, I moved in there when I was, I don't know, I was underage and got my own place when I was, I don't remember how old I was. I know I wasn't 18. And Fritz and Freeway stopped over to see me and say hello. Freeway came in all excited and immediately started, you might want to shut the video off now, and immediately started to squat to do his business. Well, Fritz looks left and right for anything to stick under him, and I had just moved in because we knew Freeway was not stopping. Got 3 supervisors and 1 guy cutting palm fronds.
Hi, Dennis.
How are you today?
Good, and you?
I'm good. Good to see you. She's real nice. She's one of the rangers here. She's always pleasant and has good stories. She's been in my videos before. But Fritz looks left and right. Can't find anything to stick under him. Freeway was a good-sized dog. Not huge, but big. Cups his hands and catches the gift from Freeway in his hands while he's laughing hysterically and gagging. And I was laughing hysterically and gagging. And right now, you're probably just gagging. But, yeah, I have really good memories of Fritz. And I haven't seen him since I moved to Texas. Guys, thanks for cupping your hands. Thanks for riding along today. Thanks for watching.